All right, and here we are for the part 2 of the energy transference video broadcast. I guess the energy got a little bit heavy. Didn't have a big enough pipe, maybe, that is.
Yeah, something happened there.
Wow. All right. Woo, here we are. The planets are back in alignment. It's a technology is to be embraced in each moment. And here we are embracing whatever happens in tonight's experience. So we were talking about being up in Ojai and thought about, thinking we're just going to go up there for a meeting regarding our lunar eclipse event. And we end up in the midst of a Sufi master entertaining and really taking us to other levels of consciousness with, what was the instrument called? I know they call it
It's a centaur.
A centaur, and it's a Persian dulcimer.
Persian dulcimer, yes.
Okay, we got it. It was unbelievable, and I think we've still got a video posted of some of the music. It's BarMG on my Facebook page. If you have a chance, scroll down to last Thursday, and you'll get to connect with just a portion of what we were able to connect with that night. So, I think a measure of how balanced and centered we are is how we bounce back, how we recover from technological glitches and things like that. And I would say I'm doing fairly well this evening. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I think you're holding yourself together quite great.
Oh, I gotta love this. All right, and moving right along, expanding beyond the edge. But so we had that Thursday evening in Ojai, and with it came, really the topic of this call, of this broadcast, presented itself at that stay, or initially presented itself at that stay for me in Ojai when I found my perspective, I was going to say getting challenged, but not so much getting challenged as it got rocked. And so more on that when we dive into tonight's topic. The next day, we left Ojai and made our way to Northern California for our 3-city Northern California leg of the fall tour of love. And we went to San Jose that evening, and this was our first time in San Jose. We were not able to hit it over the summer, or embrace it. Watching my words, mostly before I say them, but sometimes after. Embrace it the way we did on Friday night. And I have to say, there is Ilya, as you and I are shifting and changing with all these intense, amazing experiences we're having, these activations and sessions that we're doing are really turning into something, I don't know, maybe the word trippy isn't right, but this weekend I believe trippy was the exact word. Yeah. Magical. That's right, Lisa, magical is ethereal, right there. Celestial, psychedelic. Okay, anyway. So, in San Jose, we had a small, intimate group. They were all connected to each other, except maybe one person. Was right. Did Amber know everyone?
No, she was independent.
All right, so everyone was connected except Amber. And we really had an experience that I wasn't quite ready for. I thought, okay, here we are in San Jose, unconditional love activation. That's the way it was promoted. We kind of have a format, at least we have in the past, for the unconditional love activation. I thought, here we go, let's slip into the format. I don't believe we slipped into the format at all that evening. And we had just at like assorted times people coming up and like touching the citrine, you know, and and we just never have that. I mean, it was highly unusual what happened, and again, we're in our balance and we're aligned, and we realize that things don't always show up as tonight is an example of the way we think that they will show up. And so we went with the flow, and it was a beautiful experience. And we had, this was, I'm not going to state exactly what the average age was that night, but this was definitely in the upper reaches of the ages of people that come. There was a 75-year-old man there. Yeah,
and he loved the citrine. He was all over it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be in your 20s to love my citrine. It was exceptional. What we got that night was a little bit different energy. I mean, what would you say the average age? I mean, you know, I'm putting you on the spot because we haven't talked about this, but what do you think the average age has been from this summer on in our activations?
I would say mid-30s, maybe.
Okay, I'd go along with that. We were probably up toward 55.
Maybe even 65.
Maybe even, 60 anyway. And so what we get is, because we all connect with the energy of the people that are there. I mean, I believe in our lives, we all connect with the energy of who we're with in that moment, and it's part of being present. It's part of really being open with people and putting yourself out there and realizing that there's no difference between you and me. And so just tapping into that space, which really brings us together. And so it was beautiful, beautiful energy that evening, and it became apparent to me as we were driving from San Jose back to San Francisco that I had not really fully grounded myself.
No, we were out in the ether somewhere.
It's a little scary having Dr. Dream drive while we're out in the ethers, because I got to tell you, I don't know what road it was from San Jose to San Francisco, but it was cold. It was intense fog. And it was me with, like, my upper chakras all blasted open to the universe and basking in that. It wasn't that I was tired, but I was in and out of being conscious in this realm. Was that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well.
Ilya kept saying, you know, you could pull over right here. You could pull over right here. I'm like, no, I got to find the right place to pull over. Because honestly, I thought, at this point, I'm going to pull over. We're going to spend the night in the truck, because this has now turned into a magical, ethereal, trippy, psychedelic sort of thing. I mean, you know, reminiscent of back in the day, Leaving Dead shows or something. And I was like, what is going on here? So we did pull over, and I don't know, it took about 15 or 20 minutes for me to
get yourself back.
And what did it take? What was the tool that we used that night?
We used the peppermint essential oil, and that's it.
God. I got to tell you, this is an unintentional plug for Young Living essential oils, but the peppermint Young Living essential oil is one of the most powerful, bring you back into your body, connect you, ground you, energize you tools that I have used in a long time. And since then, we have used it quite a bit, because we found that this wasn't an isolated experience to just the drive from San Jose to San Francisco. It began there, and it became like sort of the realm that we played in for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I love it. It's natural, and it just brought you right back. So what's better than that? You know.
Listen, it was that or spend the night at that pull off on the one or whatever it was. And the next day we made our way to Seraphi, and it was quite the experience. This is a center in downtown San Francisco. Ananda G is the steward of this particular venue, and it was outrageous. This place, I mean, literally is psychedelic from the moment you walk in. Blacklight posters, spinning Metatron cubes, just about everywhere you look. There's some sacred geometric form spinning in front of your face, and it's kind of like, whoa, hold on here. And that was even before the activation.
Yeah, and even walking through the hallway, there's like mirrors everywhere and all this trippy stuff. It's crazy.
We had some really beautiful people join us that evening. And several of them we were already connected to, and others we were not connected to. But this was our first ever unconditional love galactivation.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, I know we're doing an activation at Temple of Visions on Friday, or on Sunday. On Sunday this week, but I've got a feeling that the days of us doing activations are just about nearing a close.
Yeah, after that galactivation, I don't see us turning back.
There's a different energy that comes through in the galactivation that we were, I don't know, I can only speak for myself. I was not ready for it.
Yeah, I was vibrating.
It was beyond anything. It took us it took us quite a while to come down from that, meaning that we went to Santa Rosa the next day and then drove back to Orange County the next day, and we were still coming down on the drive back to Orange County.
Yeah, I mean, just so intense. I don't even know. I don't have words for it, and neither did the participants. They just left without even knowing what to say. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, everybody left there. Literally, one of the participants said, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to say goodbye. It was like a I hate to keep going. I mean, because it was so trippy, it just reminds me of some other experiences. But it reminds me of that higher consciousness experience we used to have at like dead shows or kind of the ravey events. And when it was over, everyone just kind of looked at each other and was like, wow, okay, so we just had an amazing experience, and what, we have to leave now? You know, what's going on with this? And so that was, definitely kind of that feeling. And it wasn't just us. It was truly, everyone that was there. I mean, we talked to Embrace today, and here I got a picture. This is our good friend Embrace, who did the Sacred Grid dance performance. And she handed out crystals to everyone as she wove in and out of the people in a way that, really sort of solidified the energy. And that's how we opened up this experience. So again, I mean, what you're seeing is that we really, everything really did get stepped up.
Yeah, and after the grid dance that embraced, did so lovingly, we moved into the pineal gland activation, visualization, and that just blew me away.
Now, this was the first time we've done a pineal gland activation, and I gotta say, you did this, and just to give you an idea of the scene that night, here you are in, I mean, it's hard to tell you're wearing your ceremonial shamanic whites, but here you are, the crystal, you got a Sri Yantra on you, and this was your first guided visualization in our experiences, and I mean, it was really moving. I put up during that, I put up a status update on Facebook that my pineal gland was getting activated, and I mean, geez, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I was straight up channeling. My eyes were closed throughout the whole time, and I wasn't even thinking what I was saying. It was just coming out, and it was beautiful.
So, it's been outrageous. We also had a crew there filming and doing some other recording and photos of us, and we'll get some more of those pictures soon to share with you. And we did Santa Rosa the next day. We made some wonderful new friends, and again, driving, and that ended, and we got ready to drive back, and we thought, oh, well, we can drive at least like 4 hours or 5 hours. And I would say at about 2 hours, I was like, okay, I can't I'm not able to keep my consciousness here in the vehicle right now. And it was just like, okay, what's going on with all this? Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Well, this brings us ever so wonderfully into tonight's topic. And this topic, again, the reason we share with you so much of what goes on from broadcast to broadcast is, that's where the topics are being presented to us. The information is being channeled, really. The downloads are being received. I mean, this weekend and everything that was happening was, we were way out there. So tonight's broadcast is titled Expanding Beyond the Edge. And I'll read the announcement that went out. Dear Conscious Dreamers, recently I've been receiving very clear messages from the universe reflecting back to me some of the limitations of my current perspective. These limitations were not apparent within my conscious awareness. I have now created an opportunity to open up to something greater. I realize this is an opportunity available to each of us, no matter where we are in our own individual life experience. I refer to this as being on the edge of our own consciousness and realizing the actual edge is further out. What does it really mean to expand our consciousness? So you have chosen to join us now as we really get to talk about that a little bit and what that means. Many of you in past broadcasts and in live events with me have heard me talk about concepts of pushing the envelope and of stretching our boundaries. And it was during the galactivation at Seraphi this weekend that this whole concept really gelled together as expanding beyond the edge and realizing that the edge is, as perception is reality, the edge is where we believe it is until we take ourselves to that edge and we look or we feel and we realize that the edge is not there at all. And so it really is about opening ourselves up to what is truth. Because real will always be what we own as being real. But it is truth that goes beyond that. So I just want to slip back a little bit to Friday morning, sitting at the dining room table in Ojai, putting some graphics together and getting some things ready before we got on the road. And I was having a conversation with an amazing healing practitioner, Zarathustra. And I have known him since our days in Sedona, but it's just been since we've reconnected back out here in Southern California that we've really connected. Like, I'd been to his house at a party and some things like that in Sedona, but we never really connected there. And so now at this point, at like these really big events that we're going to, and when I say big events, it's not always the number of people that are there as much as it is the experience that's going to happen for us. And when I see him there, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be big tonight.
Yeah, I love him. I haven't gotten to connect with him too much, but I can just sense a presence that is just so amazing and so loving. And yeah, it's just great to be, around him and with his energy there.
Now, we got to watch some of his healing practice on Thursday night after the musical event. And he's amazing to watch, and you can feel the energy. He's worked on me before. I've been at a couple of his events in the past. I know he had an event last night in Venice or Santa Monica, and I haven't heard from people I know that were there, but it is something that's very special to watch. I mean, just watching him, he's captivating. I mean, his whole essence, you see him from across the room. If you know nothing about the man, you see him from across the room and it's like, wow, that guy's got something going on. And what he does is he channels fifth dimensional entities or beings in his healing practice. And he's got Evan on the didgeridoo there and some other fine musicians, and it's outrageous to watch. But Friday morning, Zarathustra and I found ourselves sitting at the dining room table, and we got to talk a little bit. And the particular conversation had to do with healing practice and what happens. And we were sharing stories about experiences that we've had and experiences that we've witnessed. And it was interesting because, I know he does some really intense healing work. And I said, does it really hold? I suggested to him that what it was having to do with that for me, healing truly has to do with processing what caused a physical manifestation that was less than comfortable, I guess. What caused something to move from the spiritual or emotional body into the physical body. And my perspective that morning was that I'm not sure lasting healing can happen if you don't address what's going on in the other bodies, in the emotional and spiritual bodies. And, bless this kind soul and this angelic being for reminding me to not close out possibilities of how things work and to be open, not to shut out how the universe does what the universe does. And it's fascinating to me because, I say this all the time with all the play that I get to do and my financial abundance, and, that I say to the universe, listen, I've got all these channels open for financial abundance, and I don't care where you fill it. It doesn't matter to me where the financial energy comes from. Just bring it on in. And it's because I don't want to shut down opportunities, or I want to. I'm focusing on keeping very open to how the universe works. And so there I am sitting with Zarathustra, and I'm realizing that from my own healing practitioner perspective, I was shutting down a channel for the universe. And so it led me to standing on the edge of what my experience is about, of the edge of who I am. And standing there and saying, well, look, that's not really the edge. It goes further and further and further. There are times now, and this has been happening this year, that I have conversations with people and I literally feel my reality shifting. It's happened recently with my good friend Jem prior to the Pretty Lights show at the Wiltern in Los Angeles a few weeks back. Ilya, when you and I are talking sometimes on the road and we're pushing the envelope of our conceptual beliefs about reality and our role, I feel it then also. There's this shift, because what's happening is belief systems. We're shifting belief systems. Our belief systems create our reality and then validate our new belief systems. And so it's like this immediate effect of, wow, we've just shifted a belief system, and then the whole perception changes.
Yeah, I mean, in the new paradigm, perhaps an individual won't have to, heal their spiritual and emotional body before they heal their physical body. Maybe some people would serve to have an instant, healing, be done, and that would serve them well. So anything is possible.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And it's true. It's not about limiting this process. I mean, let's face it. None of us truly know what's happening with these new energies that are coming in. None of us truly know what this shift, this ascension process is all about. I would suggest that what we do know is it's not going to be anything like the way it is now. And so to really open up to that and have an experience of allowing that to happen. And so what is it? We find ourselves in a box, and it's about pushing the walls out and pushing the floor and the ceiling out, up, down, around, until we get to a place that we realize we're no longer in the box. And that is the same thing that I'm talking about here, expanding beyond the edge. And so the question of what does it really mean to expand our consciousness means no longer taking anything for granted. It means questioning everything and asking in our experience to be shown a greater truth. We already know what's real, okay? What's real is what's in our box. We've set that up as real. We shift the box, we shift our belief systems, something more becomes real. But still, all around the box exists truth. The absolute truth of who we are, what our existence is about, what reality is. And we keep stretching those boundaries. We keep pushing the envelope. I mean, that's that's what's happening here. That's, I mean, day in and day out, we're going through our process. We're taking other people through a process based on what's been constantly shown to us. I mean, I don't have it in front of me right now, but we had an amazing email from a woman about, oh, there we go, I'm going to find it, about what took place at our Ventura event. Mm-hmm. And we had some really incredible people sharing what their experience was that night and beyond. I mean, we always get people sharing what their experience is. But that particular evening, it went well beyond what people's experience was, and it became about what people were seeing. And so here's just a little something that someone wrote to us. Hi there, a short blurb regarding Sunday in Ventura. When I say Saint Germain was all over you, I mean he was not only channeling through you, but also emanating out of you. And the band of angels, your aura, talking about Dr. Dream, was violet, gold, and green. The Reiki coming off the hands of the band of angels. Ame was radiating violet. Ilya was radiating green. And Jay was radiating gold. And, I mean, this is just an example. There was also, I'll go on, there was also a huge angel presence. Archangels, Raphael, Gabriel, and a couple others were lending a hand in all of this. A multitude of angels of the personal order were also around, swirling around the room. I mean, we're not... We talk quite a bit about, we're all in this together. But more and more I'm realizing that, it's not just, you and me and all of us that are, embodied in this together. But truly, like we say at the end of a lot of our activations, the angels, our helpers and spirit guides are all around us. And it's happening. It really is happening.
Yeah, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there is so much more. And to me, there is no box, So, infinite possibilities. Anything is possible. Let's do it, So.
And I think, you bring up a good point. I think it's all well and good to say there is no box, but I think we need to realize that all of us, no matter where we are in this process, are in a box. I mean, we're in a 3D reality, and we are in a box of our own construct.
Right.
And so it's important to say, I realize that there are infinite possibilities, and I realize I'm in the box of my own creation. But now, let me go to the edge of my box. Let me go to the edge of what my belief systems are. And I guarantee you, as you approach what you believe to be the edge of your belief systems, the edge of the creation of your reality, the edge becomes further and further away from you. And what is always available to you is expanding beyond. And that's really what it's about. I do want to ask, I like to ask questions of everyone, and so what I do want to ask is, are you feeling stuck? And that's really the first question. Where are you in your life, in your experience, and are you feeling stuck there? And maybe it's better to even ask, are you in a rut? I mean, we're all moving in some sense, but are you in a rut that is not taking you where you want to go? And the next question is, where is your edge? This isn't about, my edge or anyone comparing themselves to anyone else. We're all here having our individual human experience. With that comes this knowledge that we all have our own edge, that we all have our own limitations of our belief systems. So, where is your edge? What would your life look like if you pushed your envelope? And again, this isn't about anyone else's experience or anything. This is about you. And what would your life look like if you pushed your envelope? And if you're already pushing your envelope, then the question becomes, what would it look like if you went even further than what you're doing now? If you went beyond the process that you're embracing in this moment? It comes right back to that it's time to stretch your boundaries. This is the time. And I want you to ask yourself, what would you like your life to be about? Because I got to tell you, if you're not feeling that you're doing on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis what you truly came here to do, this is the time to ask yourself, what would you truly like your life to be about? Because it all boils down to the fact that this is your dream. You chose to be here, you're here, and you get to make it whatever it is you choose to make it. So as long as that's the case, and believe me, my friends, that is the case, it's time to open up to infinite possibilities, because that's what we've got. Remember, reality is not making something out of nothing. Reality is making something out of everything. And everything is infinite possibilities. All that needs to be shifted is our filters of what we are allowing. And one of the most beautiful aspects of this experience is that the universe is conspiring to assist you. And when you become aware and conscious in the present moment, you realize that the universe is absolutely conspiring to assist you. And so, my friends, I suggest to you, dream your biggest dream, and dream it beyond the edge. I gotta love this stuff. This is exactly what it's about. This is what the Tour of Love is about, what Dream the Biggest Dream is about, and what my life has led me to this point right now to share this with you, to share this with me, through me. I've said it before and I will always say it. It's not about teaching you anything. You're watching this, you're here, you're present. There is a reminder in this for you, because you already know all of this.
I think we might be.
So, tremendous gratitude for everyone being here. I do have a couple of things to update you on. We have some events coming up. And the first one is, well, actually on Friday evening in Ventura, we have the Trance Dance. And this is put on by our good friend Annalena, who is amazing. She is Shama in the experience. And it is it is exceptional to go through this process with her. I am thrilled to be a part of it. We did this 2 weeks ago. It created such a huge shift in my experience that the very next morning we committed to coming back and being part of this. So if you can join us for that on the what is that, the 17th, if you can join us, we would love to have you there in Ventura. Also, we have on Sunday at the Temple of Visions in Los Angeles, we have what may very well be our last unconditional love activation ever. Because I really believe that the activations are so 2010. And we are definitely moving beyond that, and we're well into galactivation territory now. Sunday evening in Los Angeles from, 6:30 to 10 o'clock at the Temple of Visions. And I got to tell you, we're headed back into a whole nother trippy environment for this one. But we'd love to have you join us for that. But I need to let you know that this is all leading us up to our very final event of 2010. And this one is absolutely something that we have been planning for the last little bit anyway. It is really, I don't even know quite the right words to describe what it truly means to us to be doing this specific event. We are doing our first ever Universal Love Galactivation. And we're not doing this alone. In addition to myself being there with the Band of Angels, and the Band of Angels, who do we have? We have, of course, Ilya, you'll be there.
We have Arzu, who's going to be playing the didgeridoo. We have Adil, who is part of the Elevate family, who will be joining Arzu, playing the didge. We're going to have Ame. We're also going to have Anders and Annalena, and Jay Polano will be there. Am I missing anyone as far as our helpers? So in addition to Dr. Dream and the Band of Angels, we are going to have Mike Barra, the New York Times best-selling author who just recently released his latest book, which is The Choice. Mike will be speaking with us about the physics of metaphysics. And then we have the widely acclaimed and awarded harpist who will also be bringing a set of alchemical singing bowls, crystal bowls, Peter Sterling. And so what we've got that night is Mike Barra opening up the program with the physics of metaphysics, and then it goes into the unconditional love. The universal.
I'm so glad you're here. The universal love galactivation. And then from there, we head outside. We're at the Glen Muse Estate in Ojai, which is a, amazing estate. The energy, you get on the property and you're blown away. You get to Ojai and you're blown away. You get to the property, Glen Muse, you're further blown away. And then we're going out to the lawn after the galactivation with our treat bags of raw and vegan treats from Laura Fox and her team. And we are going out to the lawn, and we have fire spinners that go from 10 to 10:30. And then it moves into Peter playing the harp and his crystal bowls from 10:33, which is the time that the shadow starts to take over the moon, until 11:41. I'm doing it with the crystal. Oops. When the moon is totally in the shadow.
Right.
And then I understand that I believe there's going to be a DJ from 11:41 until 2 in the morning when the event is over, and may full well still be playing for the solstice sunrise. I mean, I'm telling you, can we pull together an event? This is great. If you know anyone in Southern California, you definitely want them to get the information and be involved in the Ojai event. We have, I don't know, 10 or 15 tickets left, something like that. It is, no one will be allowed on the property without a ticket. It's really outlandish what's happening. So, you know, and really, we really are taking people beyond the edge with events like a Universal Love Galactivation.
Yeah, and it's also very interesting that there's a lunar eclipse on the night of the solstice, which is extremely unique.
Unique, and yet, I'm telling you, this is what it's all about. I mean, you know, if there's been any question in anyone's mind about what's leading up to, you know, 2012 and everything else, this is a pivotal evening in the process, taking us into these new energies, and it's happening exactly 2 years before December 21st, 2012, the date that everyone's talking about. There is, I mean, synchronicities abound in this experience. So that's what's going on. No doubt the phone call next week, which will be the one night that we are back here in Southern California before we head to
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, baby! Now, I have to tell you, it's funny. Ilya and I are heading to Las Vegas for some R&R, which most people get a kick out of, because who goes to Vegas to get rest and relaxation? But I got to tell you, I'm just want to lay my crown chakra down for a couple of days and just, you know, really ease into the abundance of closing out this year and then entering the new year. And we're going to enter the new year in sort of a ravey, exciting way at the LA Coliseum with Together as One. So that's also available to everyone if you'd like to join us at that. Want to take this opportunity to thank you for being on the broadcast tonight. Wow, Dr. Dream, speechless, hard to believe. I'm so grateful to be living this life of mine with all of you here, and truly it is taking me not just to the threshold of my dreams, but really putting me in a position to really expand beyond the edge. And I couldn't do it alone. I wouldn't want to do it alone. And I thank all of you for the truly beautiful role that you're playing. And there's been some amazing people on this broadcast tonight. Kimberly Ann, Sean and Suze, I know you're on. Eddie and Chris, Lisa, and another Chris, first time on, and Kim Love, and Ron is here, and then some other people. I'm not even sure that I'm aware of who you are by your screen names, and also just tremendous heartfelt love and gratitude out to you, Leslie, and for your love and support in this process. And Yvonne is on tonight. I mean, people, I got to tell you, it just keeps getting better, and that's not going to change. So I love you all. Thank you so much for being with us, for being part of us. Hell, what am I saying? Thank you for being us. Much love and gratitude, my friends.